John Scordia. I'm a Project Director at Cooper Cromer Architects.
Hi, I'm Brian Smiley, Safe Downs Works Manager at Safe Down Demolition.
I led the master planning team for this project, which consisted of landscape architects, commercial consultants with expertise in residential and retail uses, and civil engineers. I was also responsible for leading our community consultation process throughout the project.
We started off, it was for doing the demolition of all the blocks, and once we'd done the soft strip, the asbestos surveys, taking out all the timbers and all the different materials, and then getting them ready for the blowdown. After they were blown down, we had the machines in processing it all, and then it ends up with a finished article with a 6F2, which is left to get used on the site for the new builds.
I think the starting point was thorough community consultation. Red Road has a strong sense of community here, get a sense of community of people that used to live here, if not live in the surrounding areas. Our process started before the demolition of the final blocks, and there was a bit of anxiety, shall we say, in the surrounding community as to how that was going to be undertaken and what was to follow. So it was very important for us to then engage with the local community organisations, shopkeepers and other interested parties. So that was the starting point for us.
The 6F2 is a pile of aggregate that's left in certain parts of the site. It's for when the new build team come in, they use it for piling mats, and also for digging out any ducts for laying pipes and different processes like that. They just fill in any voids while they're building. The 6F2 actually comes from the concrete slabs and the foundations that was in the blocks, and it's to save transporting maybe 500-600 loads off site, for the builders to bring another 500-600 loads onto the site, which stops the traffic through the local area as well. That's the idea of it.
The proposals are to, once we've cleared the site, there's a lot of retained material on site. There are certain underground constraints that we need to deal with, and we can platform using the existing material. And the master plan provides a framework for providing new homes that go some way to replace the homes that have been removed. But those homes are more family orientated, smaller scale, smaller height, front and back door, homes with gardens, but maybe slightly taller blocks with flatted accommodation on key corners and key aspects of the site.
The first block, that was a 153-213 block along at the end, and then they done 21 Burnley Court, that got a blowdown itself, and then 10, 20, 30 block, 10 Red Road Court, 123 Petershill Drive, 93 Petershill Drive, 63 Petershill Drive, and 33 Petershill Drive was all the wind blowdown, because they didn't want to evacuate the people again, because they'd already done it 2 times previously. So they come up with the idea of just doing the one blowdown, and that was to save taking people out of the house another 2 or 3 times.
Community feedback was very positive. Lots of people engaged with this. I think it's true that Red Road is a place that everybody's heard of. The community, the older people in the community remembered when they moved into the blocks. They have fond memories of living in these towers in the sky compared with the damp accommodation they came from. But then memories changed through time because the buildings changed their use. They became derelict and they became a bit of a blight on this area. But it was quite clear as soon as we proposed removing the buildings and producing something of smaller scale that we could quite simply change the perception without throwing away the memory of Red Road, and that's what we've striven to do.
With the height and the wind and the outside of the blocks, was all asbestos cement sheets round it, to strip them for the mast climbers. So with the wind monitors and with the way, we actually taken the panels off the side, one full bay from level 1 to level 2, and weighed them, so as we knew what weight the men were and what weight the sheets were for working in the mast climbers, so as it wasn't overweight, and just stripped them bay by bay coming down, used to wind and the rain and the snow, all sorts of weather. On this it was cutting charges, and the charge for blowing it out once it's cut. You need 2 charges, a kicking charge and a cutting charge, and then all the added protection to stop any steel fragments flying out the building.
The sloping site faces south, so you have an opportunity to orientate your houses to maximise sustainability. One of the great constraints was the perception, I think, of the existing blocks. As I say, Red Road is somewhat notorious because of how long those blocks have lain derelict. But we realised quite early on that by removing those blocks, you could remove that constraint and change the perception of Red Road, pretty easily. Those connections to the surrounding areas allow us to bring in green routes, the wider green network, and create a green heart to the master plan, which we can use as a setting for creating new homes in a significantly different environment from